I'm not one to get my theology from the funny pages, but a comic strip did catch my eye today that I thought was appropriate for such a time as this. It comes to us from the Peanuts gang. Charlie Brown and Snoopy sitting on the dock looking out over the horizon, and Charlie Brown observes, "One day we will die, Snoopy." And his wise little pooch responds, "Yes, but every other day we will live." It's so simple and yet so profound. And at a time like this, when it feels like we are engaged in battle at every turn, at the highest levels of our government, to the most intimate levels of our relationships with family members, friends, even fellow Christ followers, it seems like more people are speaking death into the world and into people's lives rather than life. As the Israelites stood on the horizon of the promised land, preparing to enter a world that was overflowing with God's abundance, but also filled with chaos and destruction and death and false gods, Moses counseled the Israelites on what was truly the good life. "See, I have set before you today life and prosperity and death and adversity. In that I command you today to love the Lord your God, to walk in his ways and to keep his commandments and his statutes and his judgments, that you may live and multiply, and that the Lord your God may bless you in the land where you are entering to possess it. But if your heart turns away, and you will not obey, but are drawn away and worship other gods and serve them, I declare to you today that you shall surely perish. So choose life, in order that you may live, you and your descendants, by loving the Lord your God, by obeying his voice, and by holding fast to him." In today's world, the good life is defined by power and money, and people are willing to do and say anything and everything to get it and keep it, no matter the collateral damage. But as Christ followers, we define the good life differently. Our definition of the good life comes from the one who gives life. And he said to him, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. This is the great and foremost commandment. The second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself." What does that look like in your life today? What does that good life look like in your sphere of influence among your family members and friends and fellow Christ followers? Are you speaking life into their lives, or are you speaking death into their lives? On another day, on that dock, as Charlie Brown and Snoopy looked over the horizon, Charlie Brown correctly observed, "We all want to love and be loved unconditionally." And Snoopy responded, "That's why people get dogs." Well, no, Snoopy, you're wrong about that one. That's why people get Jesus. So, my friends, what do you say today? Should we give him Jesus?